Welcome to Module 6. In this module, we're looking at assessment and instruction and how those relate to IEP goals, progress monitoring, student progress towards the goals, and how to adapt assessments so that students with disabilities can share their knowledge. The required readings are chapters 5 and 7, and then here you'll see it says Progress Monitoring Math. That isn't a chapter in your textbook. It's this PDF right here that you can click and download. Okay, so looking at the resources, Goalbook app is actually a website. You don't have to download an app. And it says paid here because I wanted to note that it's not a free resource. However, they do offer a 30-day free trial. I believe you have to share a link with 10 friends and then you get 30 days of a free trial. I would highly, highly recommend you do that. The toolkit within Goalbook app has a repository of customizable, individualized goals. So if there is a goal for reading, which there are hundreds of goals for reading within this toolkit, for one specific goal, there will be an option for 4 different levels of difficulty. So a student may need more support, and it'll show how to customize a goal so that you can show that a student is getting more support to reach those goals. There are also links to resources and teaching strategies that align to the Universal Design for Learning and to the Common Core. So this resource, it's recommended by a lot of school districts for new teachers because it's such a powerful tool. So please take the time to at least look at the free trial. Intervention Central provides a lot of different curriculum-based measurement resources for different subject areas, and this can be very helpful on this assignment and when you're working with students in the future. The National Center for Research on Evaluation Standards and Student Testing, they research the use of assessment instruments. So you can look at national assessments and look at educational outcomes. So this is a great place to look at when you're looking at different requirements. The Burroughs Center for Teaching also has online test reviews. They provide research studies and other information on assessment if you have a concern. And then looking at general outcome measures and mastery measures, that's provided by the National Center on Intensive Intervention. So that's a great site to go to for progress monitoring tools, which you may need to for this assignment. So when we look at assessing student progress, we have to know where they started, and that's called a baseline. So from that starting point, knowing where they're at, you can then create a high quality goal. And the state of Iowa has created a guide for teachers to create those high quality goals. So you'll select a student and practice writing an annual IEP goal. You'll select a focus skill, and it can be academic or social, and then you'll examine the baseline skill of the student. So you want to share, this is where they're at right now. It should be measurable and it should be aligned to the goal. And then you'll set the high quality goal, and I would strongly recommend you look at the guide set by Iowa and then describe your progress monitoring procedures. And they should be able to pass what is commonly called as a stranger test. So that if a stranger came and read your IEP and the progress monitoring procedures, they would be able to conduct the progress monitoring without needing any further explanation. So when you are providing feedback to your peers, a great thing to help them would be describing if their progress monitoring procedure was clear enough that you thought you could carry out the procedure. It might be helpful then when you make your initial post, if you describe the procedure, that you also include the tool you'll be using, if it's a specific type of progress monitoring probe, if you can upload that. That's not required, but it could be helpful. Okay, so your assignment for this specific module is that you select an instructional unit that has 3 to 5 lesson plans, all on a related by the objective being reached. So I want to caution you that this should not be a thematic unit. So sometimes we might look at the theme of Dr. Seuss or of fall, but the content doesn't align. So perhaps it's on fall, and in one unit they're counting leaves, or in one lesson plan they're counting leaves, and in the next lesson plan they're writing about their favorite fall memory. While it's aligned by topic, the objectives don't align. Okay, so you can use lesson plans from previous assignments. That's absolutely acceptable. Just make sure that they align with by objective. You need 3 to 5 lesson plans. You must have a minimum of 5 opportunities for assessment. So those don't have to all be formal written assessments. I'd prefer that they're not. You want to show that you can use a variety of assessment techniques, and you can have more than one assessment within a lesson plan. So for each assessment, a minimum of 5, you need to describe 2 ways it could be modified or accommodated for a student with a disability. The type of disability or the characteristics of the learner should be described so that it provides a context for these accommodations or modifications. And you can attach that to your submission, the description of the student. You may choose to focus on 2 or more students for this assignment. The assessments that you choose should include the materials that are needed, the directions for the teacher to implement that assessment, and a definition of the outcome being measured. Okay, so this is just a little further explanation of what those adjustments could look like. So it could be you adjust the materials, you change the modality of expression. So if they were supposed to write their response and they have a fine motor delay, you could require them to orally explain what they would have written. And they need to be very clearly described. If new materials are required, then you need to provide those new materials. So you'll attach your submission, so that would include the lesson plans and the assessments and the description of the disability. If you have any questions, again, you can use the forum or you can email me directly. Please feel free to do so.